Welcome to Project Pro Code Recipes. In this video, we are going to learn on using regression matrix in Python to evaluate your final model. So this is the code snippet over here. I have copied this code and I have pasted that in my Jupyter notebook. I'll explain to you the code over here as well as run this for you. So let's get started. So we all are familiar with a regression type problem. Basically, uh, regression deals regression deals with predicting continuous values for your data set. So now there are many videos on our YouTube channel in which we have dealt with different types of regression models. In this video I'm going to show you different types of regression metrics that you could use to evaluate the performance of your model. So let's get started. Now from sklearn I've imported data sets, then I have imported tree. I would be using decision tree. Then after that, model selection. So model selection, I have to use model selection for performing train test and split. Now from matplotlib.pyplot, I would be using PLT. Okay, now I need to write just a statement. Now I have written this matplotlib inline so that it plots the graph in this in this Jupyter notebook. Now from datasets I've imported my load datasets. Then x is equal to dataset dot data, that is the feature matrix, whereas y equal to dataset dot target, that is the target matrix. Now train test split, so I need to pass my x, my y, my test set is equal to 0.25, that is I want 25% to be in the training, so in the testing side, and 75% for training. I would use this x train and y train for training, and x test and y test for testing. I also want to perform cross validations, so I would use k-fold cross validation. Model selection is equal to model selection dot k-fold. Perform 10 splits, that is divide my dataset into 10 parts, and then train on 9 and test on 1. Now model is equal to tree dot decision tree regressor. Okay, so I've initialized my model. I would be using decision tree regressor. Now it's time to understand the matrices that I would use. Neg mean absolute error. So sklearn doesn't comes with mean absolute error or mean squared error. It comes with neg, that is negative of mean absolute error. So it's, if you just remove this negative that is given by this scoring parameter, you can get mean absolute error. The only thing is this neg should be as low as possible, as we know that minus 2.6 is better than minus 3. So if my order is minus 2.6, this means my model is better than minus 3. Now result is equal to model underscore selection cross validation score. So model x train y train cross validation is equal to k folds. So k fold was 10. Now scoring is equal to, my scoring methodology is neg mean absolute error. So what is neg mean absolute error? It basically calculates absolute error of your predicted and the actual values. That is, it takes the mod of, for example, your value is your predicted value is 3 and 3 and 5, and your uh, actual value is 4 and 4. So when I calculate the mean absolute error, it will give me 3 minus 4. I'll take the mod of it because it's an absolute error. It will give me 1. Then again 5 minus 4, the mod of it is 1. So the mean absolute error will be 1 plus 1 is equal to 2 upon 2, that is 1. Scoring is equal to scoring method. So after that it will print the final value, result dot mean, print standard deviation. It will print the result, that is the mean of my cross validation, then the standard deviation of my cross validations. After that I'm using mean squared error. So mean squared error is as simple as the mean absolute error. The only thing is we square it instead of taking the absolute value. So what we do, that is, consider my predictions are 2 and 3 and my actual values are 5 and 5. So what will be my final output? So 2 minus 5, that is 3 to the whole square, uh, plus 3 minus 5, that is 2 to the whole square, that is 13 by 2, 6.5. So now model dot x underscore train, y underscore train, cross validation is equal to 10, scoring is equal to neg mean error. Now result dot mean, again result dot standard deviation. Now this R2 is basically tells you that how much variance your model is capturing. So how to visualize this parameter? We want, variance is very important term in data science. So basically you want your model to capture as much as variance from the data set as possible. As the more variance your model is capturing, this means the more pattern it is able to pick up or is able to extract from the data set, and can perform more better on the that it hasn't seen before. So basically, R2 R square can be R2 or R square can be denoted as can be written as the variance that your model picks up, numerator then divided by the variance that your actual data set has. So basically this will give you this will give you the ratio, and that is what R2 is. So it should be as close to 1 as possible, and the actual formula is 1 minus g upon y, whereas g denotes y predicted minus y true to the whole square divided by y predicted minus average of y true to the whole square. Now again I'm writing the same statement for the result and this. Let me run the my final code. Okay, model selection is not defined. Model selection. Okay, you can see my mean absolute error was minus 3.025, and standard deviation, that is the mean absolute error, is the mean absolute error for all the 10 cross fold validations, and then it take means of those errors. My standard deviation is 0.4 for those 10 cross validations. My mean squared error is minus 20, and standard deviation is 8. My art value is 0.72, and standard deviation is 0.109. Okay, so this was all about codes in this video, and for more industry relevant project you can visit our website. For more code recipes like this, you can visit our website as well as our YouTube channel. You can use this click here function to submit your request for customized recipe in case you don't find it on our website. If you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe button, and the code and the URL for the code of this video is available in the description below. Thank you.